Last week on Flight Room TV.
Hey, yo. Hey, this is America. I'm just letting y'all know this is America. So
man,
Bravo.
Space some time out.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me stop y'all right there. I ain't had time for no 4-hour
You're
movie.
doing a half day on this one.
Yeah, I'm about to say some real shit, and y'all can't deny nothing I'm about to say. Like, nigga, what do you lose by shitting on a black man in America? As a black man, even if you as a black man, what do you have to lose by shitting on a fucking black man?
Exactly. That's
Nobody loses a fucking thing, nigga. It's free season. Even as us,
PP got the blue joint over his third eye.
Yeah.
I didn't keep that.
Blue joint third eye.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. And it say 3 on it though. Why I got the 3 on it? Black one on. She got the orange one.
Yep.
She got the gold one.
It's some Fashion Nova out there. You know them promo codes is hot during spring break. You don't have to second guess anything either. And keeping up with the bullshit is just too much, man. That's just too much work.
I was gonna say I ain't no anthropologist or no shit like that, but
you all know, like, you've all seen somebody who just has an overall just negative aura, and then look at their life, and it's like you can clearly see the symbol. It's like, nigga, you
miserable
always negative, and then you always having fucked up. Yeah, you know, you see that shit. So,
straight savagery type of.
Hey, why everything gotta be black and white, bro? You don't think that's?
I know, but it is.
Hey, but look,
it is.
No, it's not though. I think that's like
here in
the biggest psyop.
Hey, Corey, do you believe the black man is the original man? Do you believe the black man is the original man, Corey?
Yeah, of course. That makes sense. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, you have to understand how other motherfuckers are operating, whether they're
and then they're part of the same shit though. But they're part of the same illusion.
Exactly.
Like they're part of the same illusion.
Exactly. It put it like
God says, don't talk around the issue. Don't talk around it. Don't tell everybody else what the problem is with one person. You go straight to them. You know what I'm saying?
Here's a question. Do y'all think that some people are like born just evil? Like, do y'all think some people literally like come out the womb just demon spirits, like even as infants? Or do y'all think life circumstance creates that?
Like they make it that way. So that's honestly them. That's like truly wholeheartedly who they are. So I feel like
I can make that.
So that's their truth.
Yeah,
so that's their truth.
Right. Remember, you have.
But y'all talking about Deshaun Watson? Like, is this valid or not?
I don't know, dog. No. Mike was just making a point, but I'm like, I feel like it was the same thing with Ben. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel.
Hold up. People you run to that's like continuously negative and evil and shit like that, and you expect karma to get them. You know what I mean? Do you be positive to like fight positive with negative, or do you fight fire with fire? Like, how do you approach that?
All right,
and I just started being nice, but it's like I've been an asshole for a long time, but this nice shit is actually starting to work for me. Yeah, hey, it's the Flight Room Podcast, and this is episode 49. The big 49 is Remy Please. I'm with Concourse P. I'm with Lighthouse, and I'm with our special guest, Thick Mahorn. These past few weeks, we've been highlighting, people in the area that's getting their hustle on. We had, a tarot card reader. We had a sex educator. We had a credit expert. Everybody's getting their hustle on. And our guest, she has, a special gift for talent, knowledge she can shed on the situation and the situation is OnlyFans. OnlyFans. My biggest question is right now is, can somebody actually make money? Can somebody actually pay the bills? Because
Yes.
we like 1 year removed from actually being in quarantine, and it felt like that first month I just seen OnlyFans popping up, from the regular, girl
It's a
next
thing
door.
now.
Yeah, the girl next door. Can the girl next door actually pay the bills with the OnlyFans? Are you the girl next
Yes,
door?
I
Okay, all right,
am.
yeah.
So my literal bio says I'm not an adult entertainer or a stripper. I'm just a bitch up the block that likes to smoke weed and thirst trap.
Okay, yeah.
Honest.
So the truth is, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
There is a niche. That's what I would call it.
Mm.
There is a lane for the girl next door. Yes. Yes. So before I went into it, I assumed you had to have a very large following to make money. And that's not true.
You had do you need to have enough people to put in a trap leading up to it?
So good point. So what it is for me, this was a natural transition. And what I mean by that is, so I'm older. So I have gone through many of the social media. So we have Black Planet, MySpace, Twitter. So I've kind of gone through all of the iterations. So it was one of those things where I've always naturally been someone that, we'll call it thirst trapping.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I always kind of push limits with my clothes on, but I always told myself in my head there was a limit to how far I would go if I wasn't getting paid for it. So if you look at my old social media, you can see, flirtation, but I didn't show my ass. I wouldn't do certain things because in my mind I was like, unless I'm monetizing this, there's no point for that. Right. So for me, someone that followed me from Twitter 10 years ago was like, you should get on OnlyFans. And I was like, what? No way. He's like, what you're doing now, you could get paid for it. And I didn't believe it.
Right.
So it actually took me a year from when that seed was planted to actually research it and look into it. So the truth is, you can't make a leap. So if you have an Instagram or social media currently, and you're not kind of showing a little bit of yourself already for free, it's a very big leap to jump into this. So for me, I was already kind of spicy. So this was just an extension of what I was already doing versus the simple answer is the girl next door can make money if she's actually being herself.
Authentic. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so if you are not willing to be authentic, then you're going to have to go a different route, and it's a much harder sell, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I was going to ask you.
So the truth, it's simple. If you cannot attract attention for free, clothed, it's very difficult for people to want to see what else is going on. So the truth is I think with OnlyFans, a lot of girls get into the content and don't think about shit beforehand.
And see,
what are you presenting to make people want to see more? And because, like you said, I started my 1 year anniversary is this Saturday. So I will have been doing this a full year this Saturday. It's not a quick flip. You actually have to really, it's a lot of engagement.
Put in some work.
It's a lot of networking. It's a lot of, 80% of it is engagement, customer service, promo, and 20% of it is actually content. So the truth is if you have for free, you're willing to show a certain level, it's very easy to transition into this. But if you were somebody that doesn't show anything at all, it's a very big leap. So
my question is
for free.
I got you. My question was going to be, you kind of touched on my question. Like, how do you, I know you've been in this for a year, your anniversary is coming up. How have you maintained, the top tier status, having fans keep coming back and request?
Or even was there a point in time you were like, nah, this maybe not for me? Was there that point in time?
Yeah.
Well, no, I said that when I started. So when I started it, I was only going to do it for 6 months. I was like, I'm just going to do it for 6 months and then I'm going to stop. And I got about 3 months in and I remember I woke up one morning and I logged in, and you can set up your page to like have people subscribe for a month, 3 months, a year, 6 months.
Right.
And I had someone subscribe for 6 months, and I was like, oh shit. I felt obligated, like I can't stop if someone paid. So it was one of those things where I went into it not really being fully sure, but then once I started to see like, okay, people are willing to like lock in longer than I had anticipated, I just stuck with it.
Right.
All right. So, when you say that,
so was there ever a moment where you was like, you saw how much you was getting and was like, all right, like did you like see what your price was? Was there a moment where you was like, all right, I'm worth this much, I can do that, you know what I'm saying, I can get that much? Like, was there ever a moment where moment of clarity where you was like, all right, I see what I can do here? You know, when was that moment?
The turning point.
Your breakthrough.
Honestly, I would say about 90 days in. So like I started in April and my price was double what it is now. So I spent my first 6 months at $10 a month. And I'm a solo performer. I wasn't featuring any boy girl content. It was just me. So I spent from April to August at that price. And then I had a conversation with someone that was like, hey, just drop it a little bit. And I dropped it. And at that point, that's kind of when things started to go up. Because you have to understand, the market gets saturated literally every day that goes on.
Right.
So the truth is, once Beyonce said it on the phone, it became trendy. So I kind of got in right. I started the idea for it before the pandemic became a thing. So I had actually thought about doing it in January, and I gave myself to a Memorial Day to roll out. So I was going to, I researched, I talked to girls that did it. I thought about my name. I thought about what I wanted to do. So that's the truth, is that anybody doing this, if you just want to create a page, no, because you only have one time to roll out.
That's facts.
So part of the game, if you're in it for a quick lick, your approach is going to be different. I went into it really not knowing if this was something that I was going to continue, but I wanted to give myself room to have options. And I felt like if I did too much too soon, I would minimize my options.
Okay. Hey, so YouTube will show you like or like any type of like streaming service or online service will show you analytics. Like, what do you find is like the most, and then do you try?
I'm glad you asked. So OnlyFans does give you analytics. So what it does is it'll give you a percentage. So like you've seen girls say I'm the top X percent. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's very common for girls.
Whenever they first get on, they always try and stunt. Like I'm the top 10% of my.
All of
that. You've been on there 3 days.
No, I know people. So here's the truth. So again,
I don't know.
The analytics are real. Now, I don't know what OnlyFans uses to gauge their percentage. A lot of it is how your account performs. So it's not money. It's not you're in the top because of how much you earn. It's how your account performs.
Ooh, okay.
So two things that OnlyFans kind of tells you if you actually reach it. So retention, and that's any business. Keeping customers is essentially like
it's your profit.
Yes. So for me, they said if you are not retaining 40 to 60% of your subscribers each month, it's going to be rough for you. So for me personally, I'm very proud of my retention rate. My retention rate hovers between 75 and 80%. So the truth is I don't have a volume following, but it's one of those things when people come in, they tend to stay. So for me, it's a matter of just staying consistent. So again, I don't have a background in any of this. So I gauge my progress based off of like where I started. So, there are girls that have larger followings, but they've been doing this for literally years. So where I'm in my first year, I'm proud of it. I've maintained under the top 10% for a year. And I'm a small fish, if you will, in the grand scheme of things. It's about 500,000 people on the platform. And understand it's not all adult entertainment. There are people that sell fitness tips. There are people that sing. If you have anything that people want to see, you can have an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So the general consensus is it's just adult entertainment. It's not.
Just keep them intrigued.
You want to get there and just talk, and there are people that are willing to pay to listen to you.
Right.
You can do it. So the truth is, it's a content creation platform. The adult entertainment portion kind of is the bulk
took over.
But the truth is, if you have something that people are willing to pay for to watch, you have a lane. So I'm in a lane that I choose to be in the adult entertainment lane. But again, even within my lane, there's many lanes. So again, there are women that just show feet. You know, you can literally do what you want to do.
That's the thing.
So that's the truth, is that you can do what you want, but the market isn't always gonna respond to what you want. So that's where you have to really be clear on what is the market asking for, and are you able to compete? Because there's competition. There's 500,000 people on the platform. So why is someone going to subscribe to you versus someone else? And a lot of girls don't think about that. They just think about OnlyFans, quick money. And the truth is, I say this to women that ask questions. It's one of those things where, like, if you're looking for a quick flip, it's easier to just get it in person. Does that make sense? So I'm not condoning. The truth is, if you're looking for just quick money, you're better off just.
It sounds like
this is a legitimate business, it never stops. So it's one of those things where, like, I'm everything.
Yeah, it sounds like once you get on here, you have a responsibility to your fans almost. Like, it's not a quick flip. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was even gonna ask you, like, what if you ever get pressured? You know what I'm saying? Like, in your certain niche, because you're kind of separated from what the norm is that everybody does. You know, there's couples, there's different genres. Speaking to your genre, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get any like maybe crazies, or it's just times where you don't even feel like you could.
Honestly, to be honest, when I first started this, I actually thought I would have to deal with a lot more of the crazy and the disrespect. And the brutal honesty is, I call them supporters. I don't really like the subscriber term, but my supporters
or followers. I don't like followers.
I don't like supporters. My supporters show me more respect than the average man. So it's one of those things where the truth is, my interactions with my supporters are all love, all respect. Because what people don't understand is, like, so the argument that a lot of people have is, well, why would I pay if it's for free? Okay, well, why do people pay for bottled water when tap is free?
Quality.
So the truth is, we all know we can go to Pornhub, XNXX, all the sites. It's a lot of scrolling. So unless if you like certain things, you may not want to have to go through all that. And what people are really missing about OnlyFans, if they don't really understand because they can't get past the visual shit, is you're paying for engagement. You're watching stuff for free. You can't talk to those girls. They're not messaging you. So what you have to understand is that the bulk of my supporters, I engage, I interact, we message. You know, it's an intimate experience. It's not just
it's a relationship
looking at stuff. Yeah. So it's more of like, it's the intimacy. That's really what, in my opinion,
connections.
And I say
people coming back,
because I don't just have male supporters.
I was gonna ask you that too.
I don't.
Hold on. We gotta watch her question. She said she loves your name, Lil Uzi Squirt. What do you mean by that? Is that your like special?
Okay, so
is that your
Lil
special
Uzi
talent?
Squirt is a remix. So I've always been someone that did the name thing. So Twitter, 2010, 2011, when Twitter was like the wild, wild west, and you could say anything, people to get offended. So remember, if you think 10 years ago, there's a lot of things now that are like common, whereas 10 years ago, it was like people had things to say. So I've always been a very vocal person. So one day on the timeline years ago, they were talking about squirters. And it was a shamed thing 10 years ago. It was, oh, you're peeing. Oh, it's nasty. And I was like, F that. I have time today. And I started just kind of, popping shit, talking shit. And one of my people that I used to always interact with, because you build social media relationships with people interacting.
Right.
He was kind of roasting me, and he called me. What did he call me? He called me Squirt Russell. And I was like, no, because I'm a Nirvana fan. And I was like, no, I'm Squirt Cobain. And I immediately changed my Twitter name to Squirt Cobain.
I like
Don't
that.
go look up those
I like
tweets.
that one.
The account is still active, but I'm not responsible for any of those tweets. So I was Squirt Cobain on Twitter 10 years ago. So when I came to Instagram, I was like, what name can I use? I don't want to use that because that was from back in the day. What can I use to kind of like remix and update? And I was like, Lil Uzi Squirt. And then again, squirt is a term. I'm short. I'm only 5'1". So squirt is a term used for like short people. And then, so I kind of left it up to interpretation. So I'm Lil Uzi Squirt because it's a remix from Squirt Cobain. But again, so for me, that's part of my niche. So I'm a solo performer because I have a niche. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
So my two niches, if you had to label them, ass worship, ass. So ass, and then I squirt. So those are two things that there's a niche. There are people that are into that. And again, for me, I'm just being myself. So anything that I'm showing is things that I do in real life. And I'm just letting people into my life. And that's the difference. So what I think is to give credit to men, I think a lot of women mistake and assume that men aren't choosy and they don't give a fuck and they just need to see a body and they're good. And that's just not true. So I've learned that, especially when men are paying for it, y'all be choosy.
Very choosy.
And y'all be wanting certain shit. So like I approach my business with customer service in mind. So I joke about it all the time, but like I started being more successful when I actually started listening to men, because when I came into it with my woman brain. Like, oh, I shouldn't show this because, women we have our issues about our bodies and what we think. And I literally had to like swallow what I thought and just listen to the market. So the truth is, I started listening to men.
The customer knows.
That's probably one of the smartest hustles, though.
The customer knows best. The customer knows best.
Exactly.
What I realize in what I do something very taboo. And what I mean by that is, if you think about industries, there are very few industries that cater specifically to men. I'm in a business that caters to men. I take pride in it. I'm good at it. And I don't think I'm doing anything wrong in a situation where it is a reciprocal business.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in a business that caters to men, and I listen to that. It's simple. So the truth is any woman trying to get into this, you really have to kind of relax your civilian brain, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Your
and
ego.
really
Drop that ego.
Understand like how men are.
Your pride,
pride. And just tap into that.
And it really is, though. You drop that ego.
It's really just me reading the room, knowing who I am, and reading the room, and listening to the people that support me, and taking that feedback, and just again.
Go.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead. She's still there. Okay. I was gonna ask like
go ahead.
I was gonna ask like how much of the bills do this pay for? Is it all of the bills? Is it some of the bills? Is it to go on vacation? Is this is this for a remodeling project? Like how much of the bills is paid for?
When you about to make an account?
I gotta follow up.
Okay, no. I'm gonna explain it like this. So again, with any business and you're an entrepreneur, you're not gonna have the same months every month.
Okay, but like, all right. So saying that, did you like set a goal? I want to make this amount of money. I want to, because you say you only want to do it in 6 months.
I didn't have a money amount, that the analytics, that percentage, that's what I was chasing. So for me, I was motivated by like, okay, I want to get under 10%. I know the lowest I've hit. I know the lowest I want to hit. So until I hit that, I can't stop. The money comes if you feed it. So for me, I'm looking at the things that matter to me. So it's kind of like when you look at a successful business, you can't just look at profit. How many customers are you keeping? Are people happy? So the things that I look at aren't necessarily in dollar amount, but the truth is I'm able to pay my bills. In the last year in a pandemic, I've made the equivalent of what could be a salary. The truth, this is the truth for me, and what I would say anybody that is a content creator. So again, you have content creators on Twitch doing gaming, whatever you're choosing to do. It's
that's true.
Time freedom. The time freedom for me is why I do it. The fact that I can be anywhere in the world as long as I have Wi-Fi and I'm able to work. It's a lifestyle thing for me.
Real.
So a lot of times, if you're around me in person, it looks like I'm fucking off. But the truth is, I do both. I do both. So for me, I do what I do for the lifestyle and the time freedom. I can make money 24/7 anywhere in the world. I can set my schedule. And for me, I can never go back from that. So it's not so much a money amount. And I feel like if you go into it with a dollar, chasing a dollar, not only are you opening yourself up to maybe going down paths that you don't want to go down. Okay. I feel like if you do something for a dollar amount only, it's a slippery slope. So for me, it was more of a collective situation, understanding my lifestyle, how I naturally am. So that's the thing, is that I would never recommend this for somebody, at least in the adult entertainment spectrum. If you are not already like a certain way for free, it's a very tough sell, because the things that you have to do, because like you said, people will come in and see what you got going on. And if they're not sold, you might have gotten their money for 30 days.
Yeah.
So some girls play the numbers game. Okay. So I don't think any strategy is right or wrong. I think it matters who you are. So a girl that has 500,000 followers, she can do the volume game. She can just have you. I can't do that. I am like the equivalent of, it's like Walmart versus the corner store, the mom and pop shop. I am in a smaller market, not to say I always will be, but this is where I'm at now. I have to tailor my approach to where I'm at now, and not. So again, I see a lot of girls starting out, their prices are $10, $12. And I look at it like this, like Netflix is $12. They got like 10,000 videos. So like for you to charge that much, and you don't have a following, or so I think a lot of women don't really approach it with a realistic understanding of like the landscape, the market. They just, and again, here's the truth. It's like you have a lot of girls that in real life get attention and all of that, but monetizing your image, it's a whole different ballgame. So there are a lot of girls that will create an OnlyFans that have the look, but they don't have the work ethic, and they're not willing to feed it, and they wonder why after a month or two it's not working. And the truth is, there are girls that are not as conventionally attractive, or the truth is, if you have a niche and you work it, you can eat. But it takes thought, it takes energy. You have to work it like a business. I think the adult part of it throws people off, but I'm not doing anything different in how I approach it than anybody else selling shit. Whether a bitch is selling lashes, hair, beauty stuff. I think the only difference is, and I was talking to my friend about this the other day, that it's funny to me how, like, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs that make money off of other women, right? In my humble opinion, I think the majority of the beauty industry plays off women's insecurities. So they market and they sell things that aren't, so like if I sold tummy teas or whatever, like I'm doing things to make women feel like they need to have this. Whereas like all I'm doing is bringing a smile to certain men's and women's faces. But apparently that really upsets people. So like I sleep at night because I know I'm not hurting anyone, and I'm not making anybody feel insecure. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have a different approach, and I have a different attitude. But the short answer is, if you want to make money on OnlyFans, you can, but you cannot if you don't take it seriously like a business. So if you're not willing to do it for more than a year,
it can't be no hobby.
You're better off just moving in the real world. And I'm trying to say that in a way that ain't, you know.
Yeah. Question.
Nah, but you being honest though, it's real. Yeah.
How do you find your retention rate?
How do I find it? So this is what you do. You take the amount of subscribers you have, and you take the amount that are on auto renew. So auto renew is nobody's even looking. So you have things on auto renew and it comes out your account and you don't even look at it. So I'm able to see who is on auto renew, meaning their shit is locked to come out every month.
Okay, yeah.
So I take the amount that's on auto renew.
They've invested,
and you divide it by the amount of subscribers, and that's your retention rate. So since I've started, 70 to 80%, I stay in that range.
Okay, yeah.
So for me,
I ain't mad at you.
I'm only a year in, but my retention has been staying pretty good. So for me, it's just about it staying consistent and just exposure. So the truth is a lot of it is people don't know that you exist. Right. So that's when you have to start spreading across platforms, doing shit like this. This is my first ever podcast, y'all. Ever.
Oh wow!
Well, you seem like a natural.
Yeah, you're definitely a natural, bro.
I'm just a communicator. But for me, this is my first podcast ever, and I've challenged myself to do things like this more because I understand that for my brand and trying to build, I have to be willing to do things like this and get out of my little bubble. Because again, this is all a transition for me. So while a lot of people think like, oh, you're a natural, look, I might make it look natural, but on the inside, to people that know me, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that,
All right, so all right.
Even the most confident woman, you're gonna have your days.
Mm-hmm. You made the right choice, though.
So hold on. So you got a big, kind of like, a big internet presence, and you talking about the people that know you. Does that kind of like clash sometimes? You get what I'm saying?
Define clash. Be specific.
Like. All right, say you out and about, and you at the grocery store. Has anybody run into you, or anybody in your life, like family, friends that follow you, or just like what I'm saying? Does that put a damper on anything, or you just okay being you?
Surprisingly, no, because again, my following is very small, so I haven't really run into that much. If anything, it's funny. I actually get recognized from my free social media more than my OnlyFans. So I have people and that's why I have different names across different platforms. So when people refer to me as something, I kind of know like where they came from. So when someone calls me by my government name, I know this is somebody that I know in real life versus if they call me my Facebook name or my Instagram name, So the truth is I haven't really encountered what I do being a issue in my personal life whatsoever.
What about like relationships or
Yeah, that's
family?
what I was gonna ask. Would you be able
to? So here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
When I started it, I was super single, and I told myself I was like, well, bitch, if there's any time to do this shit, it's why you don't have nothing going on. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? This is good. This will keep them away. Because I was like, I really want to stay focused. And in my mind, again, I was using my own beliefs about what I thought about. Again, I'm classified as a sex worker. Even though I'm online, I'm a sex worker. So in my mind, I thought in doing this, that my dating life would take a hit. I was surprised that it really wasn't a factor at all. So the same men that I attracted beforehand, I just attract more. Does that make sense? So the truth is, for me personally, it hasn't been something that has been a deterrent or something that made me feel like, but again, I think it's a case-by-case basis. So I think because I carry my shit the way that I do, you see what I'm saying? Versus I think if a man felt like a woman was kind of, it was a hobby, or again, I don't knock anybody's hustle. Some women use it as a front and then they do their dealings in real life. And I think if a man is trying to get to know you and he sees how he moves, how you move. So I personally haven't dealt with any issues doing this as far as dating. If anything, I felt like it's just brought more
opportunities. Yeah.
Good and bad. So that's the thing.
Oh,
it's not a situation where like I'm only attracting dudes that are, no, I attract all men.
Right. Women too?
Men that are doing well, men that are, and women too. So it's couples. I've had men that are like, oh, me and my girl watch you. And look, I love it. Like,
I hear that. The energy is reciprocated.
Very much so. But I enjoy what I do, and I think it comes across. So when people believe that you're being you, so authenticity, that's really what I would say. If you are a smaller business trying to make it, you have to be authentic, because it's only a matter of time before people realize that you're not being who you are. So like, I'm being me. People who know me in real life that see the shit I post on Instagram, OnlyFans, are like, she's been like this. Like, so that's the truth. I'm just allowing the world in on shit that I've been for years now. I just haven't put myself out there in visual form, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you market? We got another question. How do you market on a day-to-day? On a day-to-day,
it's
like
simple. It's simple. I market by, it's called social media engagement. Really, I mean, you posting, you know, staying active in the stories, active in the timeline. But the truth is, I spend the majority of my time responding to messages. So it's one of those things where, like, even when I didn't do this, I was always the kind of girl that, like, I would respond to everybody's messages. Okay. Even if it was a emoji or just a hello, like, I was always in the habit of always responding to my comments. It's getting to a point now where, like, I really have to, like, take time and do it. But it can be as simple as just opening a message. So you understand, like, I get subscribers from just having dialogue. So you have to be willing to engage for free a lot more to receive. You see what I'm saying? So I spend the majority of my day responding to DMs, messages. So between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and OnlyFans, I have about 10,000 people. So I spend the majority of my day interacting, messaging, posting. You just have to stay active. You have to stay engaged. You have to speak to people.
And from all these messages you get, do you ever get any like crazy requests? And then on top of that, do you even have any limits? Is there anything that you won't do, or like as far as, you know, what your fans ask for?
Yeah. So I don't ever call any requests crazy, because in my business, there's two things that I take very, like, seriously: discretion, and I don't kink shame. So I deal with a lot of men that are very open, trusting, and comfortable. So I'm not the type of woman to, even if something seems a little bit like, oh, that's interesting, it's just interesting. I don't mind speaking my boundaries, but the type of woman I am,
you don't want to put them off.
I'm quite fluid. I'm very fluid. So I've had, I wouldn't call them crazy. I've had unique requests that for me, I look at it like, anytime you're in a business and you're doing something.
Most unique though?
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
expand.
Unique. So I had
expand.
one.
Expand.
We're about to go there. We're here now. Y'all ready? Okay. So within my first 3 months, I had a supporter that he wanted me to take photographs, just pictures. So normally the majority of my content is video form. So most of my content, I might have right now 300 plus videos and maybe 60 pictures. So I'm much more a video person. So this client wanted pictures of my face with love juice on it. Just photos.
People are into that.
I was like, you just want photos? Okay.
I know, just the photos. That's what I'm saying. I'll need that video. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I want to understand. It's like, I want this amount of pictures. I want it on like this. Okay.
Particular
So,
man, yeah.
For me, it becomes I wouldn't call it a challenge, but because of what I do, gets very mundane. I enjoy the requests that are like, oh shit, I got it. You know?
Yeah, something different, spice it up.
A woman of the people.
I had one recently. This one blew my mind because I didn't even know this was a thing.
The People's Champ.
So I had a gentleman approach me on Instagram, and he was like, he wanted like an ass worship video. And ass worship, that's nothing new. He wanted me to fart in it.
Wow. You know, that is a wave though. That's a wave.
No, so again, it's education.
That's a thing.
So like, I'm not, when I hear things, I don't be like, oh, I'm intrigued. I'm like, because I try to make sure that if I'm gonna do something, I want to have knowledge about it. And if you're gonna get into kinks and things that are a little bit not vanilla, you have to be well-rounded. So when I get these requests, I really try to like understand and learn. In the event, if it comes up again, I know what to do.
So you do a lot of research after you get these requests?
But not just research, I ask them. Be specific. You're the director here. So I ask questions and I say, all right,
so you like
what do you want?
You like an artist. You like an artist when you do like commission pieces and stuff like that.
Funny you say that. I do squirt art.
Whoa! I have never
heard that. I could really say that.
I've never heard that shit.
How does that work?
Look, I posted one of my pages on Instagram. So if you go on Instagram and you see my Africa picture, and I call this one Africa. So I consider myself a visual artist, if that makes sense.
Now.
Very.
Go look at. I call this Africa. That's my squirt art. So what happens is, I may do things and then I'll get up and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, this looks like a.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Take pictures and document.
Is it accurate?
Yes, it is.
Did that not look like Africa?
Wow.
Keep talking.
So, you know, I look like a pineapple. This looks like a gremlin. This looks like a. It's kind of like. It's gonna sound crazy. You know the Rorschach test.
Yeah.
Look, it's like a Rorschach test.
I think you on to something now. Like look, I think.
It's so again, my content is very. It's me. It's everything. I'm a clown. I don't take myself too seriously.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually pretty damn.
That does look like Africa. I'm not even like joking. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's really art.
No, thank you. It's squirt art.
The ratio though.
You've never heard that before, did you?
HBO used to have. Yo, remember HBO used to have that
Real
show,
Sex.
Real Sex. Yep.
Yeah.
This would be squirt art. That would be on there. That'd be.
So listen,
put that on the canvas.
My vision is very in the future. So like, I can envision myself doing paintings, maybe a live painting. Look,
or a gallery, something. Yeah.
Squirt art.
Yep.
It's a thing.
No, it is.
I want to popularize that shit right there.
Because I look at it like this.
A genius idea.
Is it being done?
I've never heard it.
Have you ever heard of it till now?
P, you a nasty ass nigga. You a nasty ass nigga. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't. That's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, yo, that would lead the show.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Now you know. So I'm kind of like an onion. There's many layers, and I try to give people the layers, but it's about an experience. So I'm not just selling, you know, hey daddy. No, that's not my brand. I'm very more like how I'm talking to y'all. That's how how I am.
And see,
I try to make it human, intimate, fun experience. Kind of like the difference between tequila and cognac. So I had a subscriber give me this compliment. He was like, your content is like an experience. So like tequila is straight. It's straight. It's direct. It punch you in the face. Cognac, you sip it. It's an experience. So my content is very more like cognac.
All right, so
you're gonna see something that you're like,
yeah. How we're doing now, right? Like we collabing. Do you ever do collab in the OnlyFans world?
I do not collab with men, so I'm a solo performer, so I don't feature men. On occasion, I will
cross
sell
promotion.
my private archives. So the only collabs I do are with other women or like toys. But I'm not in the space where I feel like doing boy girl content is what I want to do.
Okay.
So it's not that I'm against it. I just don't see any reason for it right now.
That's what's up. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
What? What you say, Corey?
I said you was trying to sneak in there.
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm kind of fascinated with it, just because we're just in the internet age and everybody can, find a come up. And I mean, we probably we close to like a year in the making coming up too. So
yeah,
staying down, just innovating yourself and just being true to, your art, taking it not as a hobby, taking it as, another job that's going to set you off.
Yeah, because again, for me, it's less of a job and it's more like I'm monetizing myself and my lifestyle. I'm not doing something different or extra to make money. I'm literally being myself. So that formula will not work for every person if they're not willing to be who they are. So part of it is you have to know who you are, know how you want to come out, and then you actually have to work it and feed it.
All right.
So the truth is, results are not typical.
Yeah. All right. So before we wrap up, if there's any female and you try and give them game about whether they should or should not do this, what piece of advice can you give them? They got one foot.
I would. Let me say two things. The first one is, you have to wrap your mind around the fact that anything you post, it could get leaked or someone might see it. If you are still a woman that's trying to I want to have a private page and I don't want my mom or my pastor or you kind of have to make a choice.
Once you go, it's no turning back.
So again, right now in my mind, I was okay, are you going to feel a way about people possibly seeing you without your clothes on and giving yourself self-love? Me personally, I don't feel no way about that. If I were to think about my private archives and them getting released, again, if you're going to choose to do something, you have to be okay with the outcome. So I'm personally very comfortable in my skin. I think Americans just have an attitude about sex that's very outdated. You go to Europe and other places, it's a much different vibration. So for me, I'm just very comfortable. I'm doing something that everybody does in their real life. The only difference is I choose to show it. Outside of that, no one can shame me about something that everyone does. The only difference is people can see it. So for me personally, I made the decision. Look, if someone wants to feel a way about that, oh well, am I happy? Do I feel okay with it? So the main thing is you have to be okay with whatever you put out. The second thing I would say is in any business, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. You have to enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do, and it comes across. If you don't enjoy it, if you have issues with men, if you are doing it too, it's not going to work. So it has to be something that you're willing to actually pour into and enjoy. And you have to be okay with putting yourself out there. And again, the rule of thumb is if you're not willing to put yourself out for free to a certain degree, it's not going to work. So when I meet girls or they ask me questions, I'll go to their social media and just do a quick run through, and I'll be like, "You're not ready." Yeah. So again, I need to see can I see a cleavage picture? Can I do you can't leap. It has to be somewhat already your thing, because
established.
men, right or wrong, when y'all paying, y'all choosy, and y'all don't like the fake, the front end, the bait and switch. Oh, she's posting the same pictures from Instagram. Like, y'all not having it, and I know that, so I'm not about to play with y'all. So
see,
you just have to be willing to take it seriously like a business. Just remove the adult part and be comfortable putting yourself out there. Those two things, you can make a living, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I can tell you take your customer service serious though. So if anybody watching, you definitely sold them on that part.
Listen,
I'll tell you that.
That's my favorite
quality
compliment or thing is that I take pride in the customer service, and I'm different. So it's like, if you read my bio, I encourage things that are taboo in the real world. So, most women are like, oh, don't send me no dick pic. I don't want to see that. No,
hold up. You about to get a whole flood of them drops.
No, listen. I only accept them from my supporters. So my supporters know, if you saw my content and it moved you to bust a move, send me that shit.
Oh no.
Send me the pictures. I want the reaction videos, because look at it like this. When you have a business, how do you know you're doing a good job? True. So there's two ways. They can tip me monetarily, but I look at the reaction videos and pictures as non-monetary tips. Okay? So I encourage men that are subscribing to me. I had one subscriber, it was literally my favorite shit ever. He sent me a video of him. He projected me on the wall. And he was, he projected me on the wall. And he sent me a video of him. I was like, oh my God. Like, I love that. Like, you got to understand, there's a million bitches in the world.
I can see how that's romantic.
You to do that too? What?
Yeah, for real.
And he had to clean it up. He had to clean it up.
Like that. It's like there's a million bitches out here. And he chose you to do that. Thank you, baby. Number one day I'm gonna get old and shriveled. Look, give me all that. I love it.
The energy,
give it to me. That's welcome here. This is a safe space. You can be you. So that's really what I give, is you can come into my world and you can be you. I don't shame you for the things that society makes you feel bad about, because you shouldn't.
Are you worried? Are you worried about like anybody like screen grabbing and taking something that you charge for?
You want to know why I'm not? Because deep down, the only thing I think about, I hope I look decent. And it's promo.
Always.
So I still promo. Tell me, like, right now, I haven't anybody tell me that they've seen my shit, but like low key, and I'm not inviting this. It's kind of like I don't feel like I've really made it until my shit get leaked. So look, I ain't there yet. Okay, I'm not there. I'm not. Again, I don't feel any way, because, again, OnlyFans does a good job. They have watermarks. They have things in place that if you want to take legal
they can track
action,
that shit, I'm sure.
So like a lot of girls, you'll go to their profile and they'll say it. They'll be like, any use of this will result in. I'm kind of more opposite. I feel like when you put that, you kind of like invite people to do that shit. My shit is, look, if you read the terms and conditions as a subscriber, you should know that these legal ramifications are a thing. I don't feel the need to state it, because if it comes to that, I know what I can do. I try to use a more benefit of the doubt, like good faith type of thing. I'm discreet. People that come to me are discreet. So it's a mutual respect most of the time. So will it come to a point where it might happen? Okay. But again, think of any of your favorite artists. I grew up in the LimeWire days, the Napster days. Okay.
Download days.
Look, we remember that. They still made money. Yeah. But we was getting that shit. So again, it's about people are enjoying it. So look, I don't concern myself with nobody can ever certain shit. Once it gets on the internet, it's out of your hands. But I choose to have a more positive view on shit like that.
That's real. You sound real sturdy in your beliefs, and you know what I mean? Just overall outlook on
confident with it.
Yeah, what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it confidence, more so that I just know who I am and I'm comfortable in my skin.
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
can tell you've had experiences. You know, you speak to your experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you learned from experience to like turn this into the hustle and just be better.
Yeah. So the truth is I never really wanted to be behind the camera ever. Like I actually enjoy the behind the scenes. I enjoy the consulting. I would love to help a girl like so in my mind, when this is all said and done, there's a lot of things I want to do, but I see myself transitioning from being in front of the camera to behind. But I look at it like this. It's kind of like testimony, right? Even if you're knowledgeable at something or you're good at something, people want receipts. They want to see. So for me, it's like, well, shit, if I can make myself successful, then I can go now help others, if that makes sense. So I never really wanted to be behind the camera. I just used myself because it was the cheapest and the easiest. But I got the knowledge through doing it. I'm now I'm like, it's not that it's easy. It's just that once you understand what's required, it's just a matter of someone being willing to do it. That's it.
Right.
But it takes work. And you're not going to see the fruits of it right away unless you really come out a certain way. So like I did pre-sales before I launched. I hyped it. You gotta create a buzz. Link dropping in May. I dropped a month early from peer pressure. Because I would post on Instagram my regular shit and people would get in the comments like, bitch, where's the link? So part of it too, you have to read the market. When they start asking for it, you let people know what's going on. So I took kind of like an artist that's dropping a mixtape. You got to build some buzz. You can't just,
drop it. So, nobody gonna see it.
I have a degree in marketing. My degree.
You said it. You said rollout. You said it perfect. The rollout.
So I approached it. I used my marketing degree, and I was like, all right, how do you want to come out? And I did that. So regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, whatever you're trying to do, you have to have intention and you have to think about it. That's what really makes people successful, is having the intention. If you just go into it just haphazardly, that's what you're going to get.
Likewise, man. It feel like a lot of stuff you're saying right now, people can apply to like their everyday hustle.
Anything. And that's the thing. People have to get past
anything.
The adult part and understand business is business.
Yep.
The rules of business don't change. Only the product or service does. Truthfully.
Yep.
This is America.
So, I just took. So I make the joke. So, y'all have heard of the story of like the girl who went to school, who stripped to like put herself through school to get a better way. I did the opposite. I went to school and learned the business and then called myself stripping. So if that makes sense, it's kind of like
no, I do.
Flip it up. And that's not really a story or a narrative. That's a thing, but I'm like, fuck it. Why not me?
No, that happens a lot.
Question, since you bring that up, I wanted to know like about like the taxes. Like, do they like do taxes for you with the OnlyFans, or you got to do that shit at the end of the year?
No, so I just filed my taxes, and taxes are looking good, but OnlyFans takes 20%. Period. Okay. So I only get 80% of what I make, but what that 20% includes, the site fee, taxes, like they take a portion. Okay. So that when you get your W-9, your earnings are clearly not what you fully earned. It's minus those things. So the truth is, I got to file taxes this year, and I'm fucking happy about it.
Hey.
Okay. So when I say, does it make a living? Yeah, it does, and it can. You just have to approach it as a business and not a quick hustle. I think if you're looking for quick money, strip or sell pussy. Straight up.
Damn.
I don't think there's anything wrong with any of those. So let me be clear. I support all sex work, online, in person, whatever. Just understand that the OnlyFans game is not a quick flip. So if you're looking for quick money, you're better off moving in real life.
Okay.
The online game, it's a hustle. You have
Dedication. Okay. I follow.
It's a 24/7 operation. Think about it. Not to get crass, okay?
Money
Most establishments. Look, niggas dicks get hard 24/7, 365.
And you international, baby.
So if you look at it in terms of money and opportunity, I have to sleep. But the truth is, if you know you can make money 24 hours, it's a balance. Mm-hmm. So there's a balance that comes with that too, because there's no real days off from that type of shit.
Mm. All right, so he asked the tax question, like, so I'm sure you probably use props and outfits and, you know.
I expense all that shit, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was
asking. I expense clothing,
vacations,
the hotel rooms.
Okay, yeah.
Because, like, for me personally, I don't shoot. Okay, I shoot in hotel rooms.
I get the ambiance.
Paranoia, but it's more like I don't need people to know where I lay my head at night. Like for real. So so here's the truth. Like if you look at my content for the last year, I'm in hotel rooms left and right. And I've had to deal with a lot of people assuming that I'm selling pussy. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because the truth is I'm protecting other people. I don't need people to know what my kitchen, my house, like, I'm very private.
Yeah.
Just even before I did this. So for me, you're looking at me, you're only gonna get me. You're not gonna get my personal space. So I expensed all the hotels, the Ubers, the equipment. So again, I can't wait for the taxes to hit. But again, I had to treat it like a business throughout the whole year though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that right now I'm like, oh yeah, this was but I also understand all I had to do that.
I'm about to get on there, y'all.
Yeah, right. What you?
No, let's talk about this. No. Let me talk about this. So if there's a man that's wanting to get into this, there's only two ways to get it. Two. Y'all ready?
You're gonna need a partner.
You either have to go the partner route, and you have to let her kind of be the couple shit.
Yeah,
so couples are
the main attraction.
Yeah, she's definitely the feature. Yeah.
Couples killing it. As a solo male, you are not, hear me clearly. You're not going to make money unless you're willing to have clientele that are men. Full stop. Full stop. And I know
that's the internet.
I know somebody that is married.
That's good information to put out there though. That's good for people
married.
to know.
I know somebody that's married. His wife is on board and he's a solo content creator. The majority of his clients are gay men. He's eating. So again, you have to do what's comfortable for you, but as a man, you are not going to make as much money as a woman unless you are a couple or you're willing to cater to the gay community. And that's all I'm going to say.
I definitely, I can feel
no women are going to pay to watch you beat your dick off. I'm just going to let y'all know that now. But gay men will. And there's look. Again, you got to understand, what are you in it for? What are you really trying to do? You understand? So there's ways for men to get it, but y'all have to be very.
Yeah, you got to know your morals. You got to. Whatever you can.
Trying to bring y'all up under her wing. What y'all gonna do, man?
That was.
So I had a friend who was like, yo,
that was shameless.
I don't got an issue with that, but like the engagement. See, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. So you might have an idea of like, okay, I'm creating this content and I'm not going to think about who sees it or consumes it, but you can't do that. Mm-hmm. You have to interact. Right. You got to. So unless you're willing to, otherwise, couples can really make a killing and a living. But outside of that, there's not really a lane for men outside of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of dangerous though, because
hey, most people would rather look at women. So yeah.
What if the couple don't last, and then like what you do with that? Like, do you split the proceeds like after that? Like that's kind of dangerous.
Well, see, look,
They're
what I
gonna
would
need whole like
recommend,
OnlyFans attorneys.
y'all gotta get shit in writing. Y'all gotta get shit in writing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
so again, I would look at it again, it's a business. So whether you're going into it with a loved one or not, you still have to think about that.
It's hard. It's hard because like a lot of these, like some have started, some like, you know, now you see like porn stars break out from OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure like these women that are in relationships get approached too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that whole complex. That's why I was asking earlier, like, man, I know jealousy. You just said lawyer. You probably do need an OnlyFans lawyer now, because I know that's probably getting crazy. Who's the star
I'm not
in front of the camera? Who's the talent?
Yeah, no, but see, NDAs and look.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
If you're getting to that level and you're taking it seriously, all of that's gonna come into play eventually, whether you're in a relationship or not. So it's one of those things where you could do it for fun and just have a little extra money, or if y'all are really trying to run it like a business, there's a level of
that shit turns into a business once they see the money. I feel like people get surprised off like what's going on OnlyFans, and then like they have to turn it into a business. Then like them demands come in, and then that's when shit get cloudy.
But see, that's where you have to be very clear on why you're doing it and what you're in it for.
Oh yeah, I agree. You gotta go in with it like headstrong, like you said. Like you gotta be
so
headstrong
part of it too is, and I feel like this is an issue not just in this industry, but just period. I feel like, okay, I will say with creatives, artists, creative people. We're not speaking in the corporate sense, just people who want to monetize their art, whether it's visually, audibly, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to understand it again, monetizing a passion versus doing something for fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. Y'all all have niggas that homeboys that make music. I know it for a fact. Every person on here has a man that raps. I know it. Just because you have a passion for something doesn't mean you're meant to monetize it or you can monetize it. So this is where you have to get really clear on like, what are you trying to accomplish? Okay, are you just trying to do some shit to just do some shit? Or like, for me, for example, like I have an innate feeling like I'm meant to do something. And although I do not know exactly what or how I'm going to get there, I'm the type where I make decisions based off where I'm trying to go, not where I'm at. Okay? A lot of people do not act for where they're going. They act for today. So I'm very choosy. This is my first podcast. This isn't the first time I've been asked. Okay? So I look at it like if I'm going to do anything, it has to live forever. So like, let's say I'm out of here. I go to the top. I'm famous. Like, this is going to get pulled up.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
But still,
that in my space, now that I think about that, that's how I know I'm going to be okay. A lot of people wait until they get where they're going. And on the back end, no, you can't do that. You have to literally from the gate feel like, all right, I'm going here. Let me act this way today. So I approach my content. I approach my business with the standpoint of like, if I end up being someone, am I going to be okay with everything that I've done? And I feel like a lot of people do not approach their art or their business with the sense of like, if you make it, are you approaching it today like that? So NDAs and things that will seem off-putting when you're just trying to get shit out the mud and at a very low level and people don't really see the vision yet. Yeah, people might be offended like, oh, no, it's just I know where I'm trying to go. So for me to conduct myself any other way, I'm doing myself a disservice.
Yeah. So we got another question that we kind of glossed over. And this we kind of briefly touched on it, but are you ever afraid of, cyber tech or, on your profile? Does OnlyFans, do they have, because anybody's touchable for real. So like, are you worried about that?
I'm not overly worried about it because, again, I can only go off what I know. I know OnlyFans does what they do, but the truth is,
good question, Patrick. Too.
Here's the truth. I have a personal network of people that are very tech savvy. So if I ever found myself in a situation where I felt I was being harassed or attacked, I know people that are adept at IP addresses. They work for the government for a living. Like,
yeah, we on your ass.
Did you understand? So like that's why I don't even think about those things because I just feel like, again, I'm very spiritual. I believe in energy. You don't want to put shit into the atmosphere that ain't positive. So is that something that might happen?
We talk about it a lot on that show.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, and I also know that I'll be prepared to deal with it. But I'm not important enough yet for that, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we talk about a lot on the show. You know, protecting your peace and just carrying a good aura and all that stuff. And you definitely carry a good aura, and we appreciate the time you rock with us. Thick Mahorn, aka Lil Uzi Squirt. Her link tree.
Can I bust a little twerk on the outro?
The floor is yours. I will give you the whole floor.
Make sure you get your tag too.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe now.
There you go.
Subscribe to the channel, support her, everything she does.
This year. Promise.
We promise. Promise.
Y'all done spent more on backwoods and funnels and a Subway sandwich. Okay?
Ooh.
That went out your system.
Oh man.
But please tell them where to find you at, and please tell them
you can find me. The easiest place is Instagram because that's where my link tree is. So Lil Uzi Squirt on my backup account because I get restricted a lot. Thick Mahorn, link in bio. I have my Twitter, Instagram, my free OnlyFans, and my VIP page.
Yep. So more than one avenue. You know what I'm saying? Then that's
the thing. You have to be everywhere.
Yep.
Multifaceted. I'm gonna make sure to post all that information too for you.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all. This has been really fun. I could talk to y'all for hours.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna bring back.
Right. Any other time you want, if you.
Hey, she could probably be on overtime.
I'm gonna go if y'all ever need like
a female perspective, Yep.
Oh, I got y'all.
Yep. Yeah. You have to direct too. Yes.
Yeah.
That offends people.
Yeah.
Only sensitive people.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Recently, I think it only offends people who are not secure with themselves. So again, I'm very direct just because again I don't like to waste time.
Exactly. You can't. That's all we have.
Yeah.
We'll sort out the feelings later. Okay.
Why good?
Hey, that's my type right there. Huh?
Thank you so much.
I'm wired slightly different in that. Again, I love being a woman. I think the only complaint I would have about my kind is that we tend to be a lot more subjective than objective. So like I'm naturally objective minded. I process through logic, and so I actually have had to learn to kind of be more subjective. But I find that most people who operate from objectivity don't find me offensive. If you operate from emotion, you're probably gonna feel triggered.
Yeah.
Psychology too.
I agree.
But yeah, we appreciate you. We definitely gonna, bring you, back on in the future.
Bring me back. Bring me back.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break down stories, getting into some real wild shit. Yeah. Very, very nice stuff.
Look, the weather's breaking and summer's coming. Oh,
it's about to be a problem.
Oh yeah.
No, y'all don't understand.
About to be a problem.
This is the summer after a pandemic. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah. Oh, them stammies.
Oh yeah. You already know what time it is.
This is the summer
and tax season.
It's about to get wicked in a good way.
Oh yeah.
Buckle up, fellas. Buckle up.
Oh yeah.
All right. We gonna fuck with you, Lil Uzi Squirt, aka Thick Mahorn.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, peace. I appreciate you.
You.
All right.
Woo,
Very
yeah.
good segments.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good segment.
Yeah. It's like we always got
Hey,
like
she was dropping a lot of
decompress
knowledge though.
A lot though.
She was
And-
dropping a
and
lot
like,
of bars though, yeah.
towards the
but
end, yeah.
and some females need to hear that though. Like the good, the bad, the ugly of this shit. Even the whole being committed to it. Like
Yeah.
it ain't no half ass shit.
And
Like,
also
I told you,
getting out your own way, like getting out the way of yourself will kind of like fuck you
right,
up in the process.
right. Open up let go of the ego, the suggestion pool. Like I like when she says she picks the dude's brains, like as a consumer. Like she don't have no ego towards that shit because she understand that's like, and that is most of the time
Her
what
whole
gets in the way.
her whole intention is to serve, and you can see that. Like she's providing a service. She wants to make sure her supporters are satisfied. And you can't ask for more at the end of the day. You can't ask for any more than that. So yeah,
direct and honest with
kudos
it.
to her.
Yeah, man, definitely came with it.
Hey, so like I don't want to correlate the two, but we kind of like came up with this topic before we started today. Is what I'm saying, like I want to separate the two, right? This ain't got nothing to do with her, and this we like moving forward the podcast. Like, how do y'all feel about paying for sex? Like people that do pay for sex. How do y'all feel about that?
Man, that's
as long as it's consensual. As long as it's two consensual adults and they know both what's up, I have no issue with it because from my perspective, I think it's a lot of bullshit in between to what you try and get to, and a lot of people waste their time. If I got money and I want you to provide a service and you cool with what the money that you're getting, I see absolutely no problem with that. That's how I look at it.
Right.
It just wastes the time and just get straight to the point. Just get straight to the point.
Right.
Because niggas be lying in between a lot of these transactions between men and women. Be a lot of lies, you know what I'm saying? So, just exchange the money and get to it,
Yeah. There's an itch that needs scratching, and why pussyfoot around. So
and that's how I look at it. Yeah.
Right.
So I understand. I get it.
And it's kind of crazy because a wise man once said, Sir Chad Butler once said, pimping ain't dead, it just moved to the web. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That's some real shit.
Yeah. But on the other side though, like how do y'all feel not exactly paying for sex, but paying for sex if you take a female out and you pay for dinner, you pay for drinks and all that, and then you expect sex in return? Is that paying for sex?
Well, if you expect it, yeah, I feel like it is because you're going into it with the mindset like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this, this, and this at the end of the night. I'm gonna make sure I make that move so I can get my sex.
Okay, so really, what about some females that use sex appeal or enticement? You know what I'm saying? And knowing they gonna get energy. They're gonna get a meal and then probably another meal and then maybe a third meal. Maybe a little bag or something. Maybe a gift card or some shit. Some flowers
without even making it physical or anything.
Right. They just use their Is that paying for it? Is that paying for it, or is that advertising it at the most?
Yeah, it's advertising it, but then it's just like she ain't got the connection, she ain't got the vibe. I feel like when I be upset with the males more when they stay in situations like that, because I feel like you can address that situation, but you can also pick up when somebody into you.
Yeah, so that's true. But I definitely, but some know how to work it. Some know how to get a meal out of it, and I definitely know.
Charming.
I've known. Yeah. I've definitely known like some female acquaintances that definitely jump on like a Tinder or whatever, dating app and legit going there for like a good night out, a steak dinner, and some photos. Take a picture of your plate, take a picture of the venue. Who you think taking the picture? It's that poor fellow that think he's gonna get, gonna get something in the end. So yeah,
running the place out for you. No, I do feel on that.
Yeah, I think to eliminate that, you just can't have no expectations. You just can't have no expectations. Simple as that.
I feel like when you do that, and that's when you have like all them emotions tied to it too. When you're expecting all that shit, you can't. I don't know. But that's why I'm saying that's not my lane. I can't speak to that too much. Like paying for sex is, I feel like that's kind of wild, man.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's wild for you, but like, say you a workaholic, or mean, say you just don't want to deal with the attachments that have to do
I know.
with, you
Yep.
know what I'm
And that's
saying?
what I was gonna say. If
and
you
you
don't
got,
need it,
and just like how you go to like a masseuse and she can hit like all the right spots and stuff. I'm not speaking for me. Please believe I'm not speaking for me. But she can hit like all the right spots, and you hit up a professional and you pay the fee, and then bam, you get your rocks off. So
right, true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that.
Just because it ain't for you.
I mean, and then also, like, you know, and like you were saying earlier, you got guys who might, you know, take a girl on 4 or 5 dates, you know, still never get none. Then you just spend like $500, $1,000. You know what I'm saying? No guarantee to nothing. And if you just go, you know what I'm saying, get your money exchange, there's no mental anguish, there's no emotional like thinking about, you know, am I going to? Ain't none of that. You just gonna get the same result. It's just right, direct. You know what I'm saying? Just get to the point, get over with. And that right there, you actually take less energy doing that than actually going through the whole court and shit. You know,
and
so
sex is the service for that one. So yeah, I mean, like I said, that's it.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if this shit was like,
if sex is what you're looking for, if you want a relationship, obviously that's a different approach. But if sex is your end game or end goal, then you know, there's less energy just paying for that shit.
Yeah,
less energy spent. You can
gonna be a
use
mutual
that
thing
energy
anyway.
on some more productive.
Yeah, if she good on the other end of that shit, hey, if that's what you do, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah,
truck drivers and shit.
Anybody for real, just like
truck
anybody.
drivers,
yeah, just
because it's only. I mean, you work 40 hours a week, and then you traveling 2 hours a day to get to work, and then you sleep for like 6 hours, and then you try to watch your little 30 minutes or an hour show that you got. It's just like when do you have time to, you know, get that pressure off? And then if you want to do it, you want to get it off like when you want to get it off. So you might as well I can understand why motherfuckers do it. That's what I'm saying. I can understand why motherfuckers do it.
And you're not even trying to deal with no politics either. Like
right.
I understand that part. Like
out.
The business transaction, like I just need to get this off. I want to know about all it. Yeah, the whole build up for it. Yeah.
And if you just talking to a junk just to get your shit off, and then you hit the junk, and then there's beef afterwards, like, yeah, it's just like, you know, no strings attached.
And somebody in the comments just made a point. 89 3CP said it might be less sex offenders too, or less rapists if they can pay for it. So if there was, you know, more, if you was a legalized prostitution, there'd be less rapists. You know what I'm saying? It'd be less.
That's what speaks to that whole emotional part. That's what I was saying.
Offenders.
Like, yeah.
A service like an oil change too. Yeah. Oh bullshit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No bullshit.
But do y'all think it should be legalized? If it all across the board, like if it went legal across the whole country, do you think that actually is a good thing? You know, like I think that honestly, I think if it went legal all across the board, I feel like it would change the dynamic between men and women. The whole dating scene would change immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like overnight type shit. You know,
it would be hush.
It's like what's your motive type shit, or you know what I'm saying, or even like it'll be kind of hard to police it, like when they try to tax it, or wouldn't they, or wouldn't even like how would you regulate like, you know, underage, you know, women trying to do it, or anything, or robbery, or you know what I mean?
You probably got to get like a card or something.
A car,
they probably might have to get a car, like, you know, like DOT. You know, like DOT, you gotta get like before you drive a truck, you gotta get a physical. Yeah. They gotta make sure. I know it sounds crazy, but you probably gotta get like an official. So if you get pulled over, get pressed by the police in any situation, they can be like, okay, this is a licensed sex worker. This is you got to get a like nigga. If they legalize it, you would definitely have to get a license to do that shit. Like they can't just let anybody do that shit.
Just like you said, like sex offenders and all that shit, they have to be like in some type of you know, registered
or a felon or any type shit. Yeah.
No, and somebody did make a point too on that, like the whole rapist thing, like the sex offenders, like if they could pay for it, like some of that shit is more mental issue, which
yeah.
some of it is. I ain't even think about that. But
and then like,
So everybody can't get a card. Then
sex is intense, man. That's just too intense.
It's a slippery slope.
Very.
No pun intended. Like,
Do not fuck around.
It is a slippery slope, girl. I don't think that shit can happen for real. Because, like, where do you do it? Are you gonna do it in your home? Are you gonna do it like in a storefront? Like, are you like is it gonna be like a Best Buy type situation? Is it gonna be
probably some discreet online shit like escort?
But if it's legal, it's legal. Like, how big is it gonna get?
Oh, true. They're gonna make that in the corporation type shit. Then they're gonna like associate the blow up dolls and the drums and shit. That's how they're gonna introduce it. Yeah, sex workers.
Yeah, man. But shit.
What else we got?
Hey, but Corey, did you pose this question? Like, you think they could like correlate these two? Is it the NFTs and the Bitcoin stuff? Like, you think they can correlate that with sex work? Huh?
I put that question out there because I don't know much about it, and I want to know more about.
I think we should get an expert or.
Yeah, I was hoping we was gonna have. I thought P Shack was gonna be on this joint. He the man with the Bitcoin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just bought some cryptocurrency this week or whatever. But yeah, we definitely need to get an expert or somebody who knows a little bit about this shit, at least a little bit about this shit.
But that would be like a wild way to like transport services like it kind of is like the most logical way for real as of right now.
Yeah, it's like the NFT shit is like crazy though. I see like the artists, like all rappers and
or even NBA. The NBA like separated.
Yeah, they selling like fucking
like this whole shit.
Yeah, exactly. Greatest plays or whatever.
Right. Like the shit I watch on YouTube, you're gonna charge me now?
Yeah,
that shit's wild.
The shit you watch on YouTube now, you're gonna get charged thousands of dollars to watch that shit.
What?
Yeah.
Like the most rarest dunks and shit like that. They gonna start charging you. But like companies are buying this shit up. Like Michael Jordan was part of this firm that bought up a lot of NFT.
He got all of them.
Mm-hmm. So like I guess they're gonna like start like claiming their videos or something or their likeness on YouTube and then just start charging people to watch the shit. So if you got like a greatest Jordan highlight or whatever, save that shit to your phone now.
Mm-hmm. Because it's only gonna be available if you pay for that shit.
Exactly, just like this. Yeah, like everything else.
Bro.
Yeah.
But that's what's up. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to play.
But yeah, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Blase. I just like it's like exactly. shit you can exchange.
What an NFT is, they tell you it's a non-fungible token.
Yeah.
You know? Does not answer my question, my nigga. What the fuck is an NFT?
We're gonna have to get a professional for that.
Right. I can't wrap my head about something that you're trying to charge that's been free forever. It's just it don't make sense to me.
Exactly, but they
like pussy. Pussy
now they want to sell art like shit.
I know they're gonna start putting that on everything. Honestly. Yeah. Like they start that shit with the video.
That's what I think. God. Yeah, that's what I think. Like anything.
And it brings it back to Marcus Lighthouse was talking about how shit is about to be like Ready Player One on this bitch, and
anything.
When I thought about Marcus when I seen this shit on I forgot what the fucking channel was. I be watching the money markets and all that shit or whatever. But these niggas was selling. They were selling digital real estate for like millions of dollars. You cannot step into that. Into that motherfucker. But they're selling digital real estate for millions of dollars, and it's like it sounds crazy, but when you think about it on the Ready Player One type of aspect or whatever, especially like with like casino type shit or whatever, you want to do casino shit in virtual reality or whatever the fuck, you know, You already know. If you want to put some, it was already some bullshit when we was trying to do some sport betting out here in DC, Maryland, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to put some money down, we had to go to Vegas or Delaware or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But now we got this shit coming out. And so now shit is starting to make sense. It's starting to make a little bit of sense. Like if you want to buy a little footprint or whatever in a digital arena or wherever the fuck, you know.
Shit's gonna get strange, bro. Shit is gonna get strange real quick.
We're gonna be paying for shit we can't even like touch physically.
But that's the thing, like
they need to find some.
It's already like that, damn near.
It is because you paying for Hulu, you paying for Netflix, you paying for Paramount TV that just came out, you paying for Spotify, iTunes, like you just shelling out your money like every chance you get,
and it's all digital.
Yeah, so like this, of course, it's gonna move this way. You were paying for like the little bit. You're gonna start paying for air, bro. You're gonna start paying for air, like.
Yeah, a Simpsons episode about that.
Right. Like the lady said, we already paying for water. We gonna pay for air.
Right. Like how long you been outside, bro? You gonna have to show me that. Yep. Please. Yeah.
Come on inside. Come on in.
That shit's so real though. That shit's so real. Like that. It's sad to even think about that shit, but that's what's happening, man.
You gotta pay for like the emissions. You gotta pay for the gas to come out your car. You gotta pay for the gas going in your car. You gotta pay for the gas coming out your car too.
Out your car. You gotta pay for the damn car. All that shit. Like, insurance with the car.
Yeah. Everything's conspiracy, and that's the conspiracy. Everything's conspiracy.
Everything's a conspiracy to make money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
To the lowest point. But like before,
let's keep that in mind.
Before we turn everybody off, let's get into the biggest conspiracy over the week on the past week. Is this this little nigga over here, Lil Nas X. This nigga sell his soul to the devil? Is this art? Is this performance art? Is like what the fuck is going on? Because to me, like, I don't like the response that he's getting on the internet, like people supporting, saying, "Oh, lay off him, y'all being a bully and shit." Like it's a difference between, you know what I mean, you being a person of, you know, whatever, and then you aligning yourself with Satanism,
right? And then that's my whole thing too. It's not even like it wasn't even like a little bit of a clip in a video. It's like to the extreme,
right?
Human blood, the numbers of Satanism, even the 10:18 scripture,
right?
Luke chapter 10 verse 18.
Okay, P was ready.
Yeah, man.
And he was popping this.
And Nike didn't even endorse this. They're actually suing him now.
Yeah, I
what's going on? Because Nike gives.
I wouldn't be surprised if they would.
I don't know that.
But the thing is, P. All right, when you say that though, P, it's like, how long was this shit up before Nike says something, bro? Like,
I know.
I feel like it was like 2 or 3 days. Like you're a big enough company, your reach stretches far.
No,
why did it take so long for you to step in?
It didn't happen until they saw them shit sell out in under a minute. And that's when it was like, oh yeah, I need that guap.
It's only 666 pairs,
right? But it's your likeness, bro. It's your likeness. You gonna protect your likeness?
Exactly.
It's not a big drop. It's 666 pairs
for 1,000 a piece.
Yeah,
1018 a piece.
It doesn't matter.
And blood
plus tax, so that's probably 1033 for real. You round that shit up with tax, yeah. Wouldn't be shocked.
Whose blood is in that shit too?
And that's what I mean. Just like look at the box, man. Look at this that underworld tone.
6 out of 66.
And individually numbered too.
See, you
said,
them joints got the whole.
If you see that,
I mean, the star in that joint. I'm trying to
pentagram.
You take the pentagram off that joint. Niggas might have let it slide, and then they seen the 6666 on the back. It's like, all right. It's just a little too much.
Them joints would have been. Them shits would have been hard if they took all that satanic shit off it though.
For real.
Them joints would have actually been nice.
Yeah, tint the bubble red, take the blood out, take the numbers, like all that scripture shit off, and keep it all black just like that, man. You don't need all that extra shit.
And is it really a drop of blood, or is he just fucking with niggas?
Nah, this is a drop of blood.
Nah, that it's like a red liquid in that shit. I don't think it's really blood in that shit, but somebody said
like
the red.
Yeah, the whole
the bottom is like a liquid, so when you walk, the shit moves like there's blood in it.
But still, even just that whole concept of the rollout, like, oh, it's a drop of blood, it's 666, it's da, da, da. It just shows you it's demonic. I don't even know how you can defend that shit.
It's a different time. It's a different time.
And then when you did you see the video?
They sold out, right?
They sold out in like 2 minutes, man.
666 pairs, dog. It's not.
But it said Nike is cutting ties with this the brand that collabed. So obviously they had previous ties with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you think they would just blindside them like that, or you think that they didn't like the response and then they got out? Because we talked about this in this last episode. The black cube of Saturn and all that shit, and Nike is basically a ring of Saturn. Like if you look at the logo, it's a ring of Saturn. So if you look at the logo itself, and just I don't know, it's just you talking about the video P. It's just too many coincidences. Like obviously, bro. Like you a young dude, you don't know all these ins and outs of the imagery you showing, but they showed a shitload of images in that jump, like from the pillars and the using the Garden of Eden and like
in the Garden
the Lake of Fire
with him and like
the Lake of Fire
alien,
you dropping down and
fucking with Satan.
Like, that itself, bro. Like what else do you want? Like this is like if this was anybody else, like you would been held to the same fire. So I don't want to hear about the gay shit. Like I don't want to hear about that. If you was anybody else, like we would have the same response. So I like do not want to hear that. And the thing is, like, there's so many like talented gay artists, fucking Frank Ocean, Sam Smith, Elton, and Freddie Mercury, and all that shit. But what's the difference? What's the difference? Them niggas like have talent. They got awards and shit. Like you busting it open like the other hoes out here that don't have talent. So
it's just the complete flip too, man. Like he went from Old Town Road to this shit. Like
exactly, that's another thing too, bro. You
are
my
biggest issue with this shit. That's my biggest issue with this shit.
Yeah, you went that dark.
That's my biggest issue with this shit.
You are 1 year removed from being on the Teen Choice Awards and walking that green Nickelodeon carpet, and the next.
I want to know what Billy Ray Cyrus got to say.
The next year you busting it open for Satan. Like, come on, bro.
You think Cyrus would have signed up?
That's my biggest issue. My biggest issue with that whole shit is like, all right, everybody talk about, oh yeah, it's art. Oh, express yourself if you want to. That, but at a certain fucking point, there has to be certain shit you just can't do because it's fucking kids watching this shit. Like at the end of the day, this nigga had probably the biggest fucking song for kids in a long time, and for him to have that. Probably the majority of his fucking following is kids.
He said right here.
So
right here.
For him to go from there,
this is 2 months ago, bro. 2 months ago, he said, his children are his core audience.
So
2 months ago,
he acknowledges. So even
2 months ago,
even he acknowledges that. So it's like, so that a bunch of kids is gonna be watching your shit. So you can't sit here and tell me that video was made with no intentions for children to see. That's a fucking lie. And I don't know how anybody. Like, fuck what he wants to believe. Fuck all that other shit. It's kids that's getting influenced seeing this shit. That should be the main fucking focus. Fuck what a nigga feel. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about that. We care about these fucking kids. That's the most important part. So all that other shit, all that artistic shit, that don't mean nothing. Like would you let your kids watch a fucking grown ass man do that shit in front of you, in front of their own fucking eyes? No, you wouldn't. So how you going to defend this shit? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's on TV and make it different.
Nah, but I seen a joint. He was quote unquote clapping back or whatever to somebody who is
you can't say that with this.
Yeah, they clapping back against somebody who said some shit about him or whatever the fuck, and he was like, "Oh, well, that was your decision to let him watch it. You're the parent, blase blase, but like you can't." You just showed us a post of him talking about the kids are my number one listener.
Exactly. He knew that.
Come on, man.
He knew that. All the people that subscribe to his channel or download his music.
That's the weirdest part.
Yeah,
that's the weirdest part. You know what that shit kind of reminds me of? That shit reminds me of like Pan, like the Pied Piper, and it's like how he just was, had all the kids following him and shit, but he was really like a fucking like evil. Yeah, he was like an evil spirit and shit. And then all of a sudden it's like, here, let me gain the attention of all the kids. Look at me, I'm harmless, I'm non-threatening, and then boom, I'm gonna bust it open for Satan. Like, what the fuck?
Accurate.
Like, nigga, how that don't look like a trap to you, nigga? Like, how that don't look like a trick? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be
the stripper
come
pole,
on, man.
Stripper pole. I was like, come on, dog.
How the fuck you don't see that shit?
This
Like at a certain point, there has to be
dog.
fucking boundaries that need to be set. Niggas just be on
Yeah.
some do what thou wilt. Like as much as niggas want it, and do what thou wilt is a Satanist fucking like mantra. So it's like it's crazy how we as a society has this do what you want to do, be who you want to be, and don't even realize like, and that's what leaves the door for this shit right here. So at a certain fucking point, we as people need to have a fucking boundary that's set and say certain shit you entertainment niggas just can't do. They have to know that we can't allow these niggas to put it out, get outraged, and then here come another nigga. Like these niggas should know we can't do this shit. The people ain't gonna go for it. Like there has to be some sort of boundaries because from my position, boundaries are gone. There's no lines. There's nothing. You can do what the fuck you want to do to the detriment of the children, to the detriment of the kids.
Yeah, it's just and then he said he a plant. This was a while ago in 2019. I'm an industry plant. What y'all gonna do about it? They put the shit in plain sight.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even like a joke. Like when I presented, I said some shit about this, man, and like it just wasn't taken seriously when I was trying to speak about it. I'm like, man, I don't know if it's because it's him. People don't take him seriously. Look at his name. Nope. No Cupid. Is that what that stands for? No love. His name. It says nope with the arrow and shit. It's supposed to be Cupid's arrow. He ain't that. That's what he's saying.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah. Either way. Man, I don't know. He's always been strange to me.
Yeah, he's a bitch ass. I feel like he just be crying for help because obviously, like you don't know like the ins and outs of the
industry for real.
Not even the industry, just the occult. Because it obviously gonna be like, all right, what you want to do for me? You want this? You want like your time is burning out. You have one hit single. You're not that talented. You can't sing. You can't really rap for real. Like, what are you gonna do for me? Like, are you gonna put this show on? Damn, Corey. Are you gonna put this show on? Like how? Like what? Because you don't know. Like it's so many like details within like that video for real. Like I really haven't a chance to broken it down, but like you see like all like how they like flash it like this. Like I'm sure if you translate that shit, it's some heavy shit.
Yep.
I'm sure. Exactly. I'm positive of it.
Even those symbols.
even like you know what I'm saying. And this is like a couple minutes like just researching it. I didn't even like dive deep into it. And then like you see him on other like. He been had this shit. He had the bathroom on his head.
Yeah, look,
award shows. Like come on, bro. And then you got the intertwined, serpents on the sleeves with the all-seeing eye. And then you look at the Baphomet, the intertwined serpents on his stomach. He got the titties, the pentagram on his forehead.
Oh, did you see that picture?
Did you see the pictures? Did you see the picture of him where he actually had titties? Did you see the picture of him that he came out like not too long ago where he actually had like fake titties?
Crazy, man.
Like Nicki Minaj and shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like you are portraying the Baphomet, and this is the nigga that's like literally the mascot for this shit.
But look at the Baphomet. What is it? What does it represent? It's a man's body. It has titties. It's genderless. It doesn't have exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's no boundaries with him. That's what he represents. The killing of the boundaries. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what he representing in this fucking video. That's what he's representing.
This nigga, the Baphomet is the mascot for this whole like perversion of, you know what I mean, good. So like, come on, you can't defend this shit of Hollywood. Yeah, you can't defend this at all just because you want people to have same opportunities and all that shit. Fuck that shit, man. That you are lining yourself with man. Like, oh, it's art. I don't want to hear that shit. It's not art, bro. You don't even know the art behind it.
And that's the whole thing.
It's dark arts. It ain't art. It's dark arts.
And why would you even consider it that? It already has correlation with other shit. It's like direct with
and this ties into this ties into all that idol worship shit. You know what I'm saying, that they talk about, where it's like, you know, you be so in love with a celebrity, and this nigga will be feeding you pure poison, and because of your, you know, affinity for this person, you'll just, you know, let that shit, like, just ignore the stupid shit that they provided to you because you such a fucking fan. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that shit does, man. You know, it clouds your fucking brain because you so, you know, in love with this celebrity.
Yep, program. It's part of the program, though. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, so what's the purpose of it after this? Because you know he already has a huge platform. He already has a gigantic following. So what's the program behind it? What's the mission? That's what you gotta look at next.
But that's what it was to begin with. Like, what was the mission showing us all this shit? Because you know, like, he don't know about all this shit. He don't know you don't know what this shit mean. I don't know what this shit mean. What the fuck did that mean?
Hell no, somebody gonna tell us too.
Yeah,
but
I saw a video where somebody explained it, but I forgot. But it was something about like people judging you. It has something to do with the judgment. I forgot exactly. I got to look at it again. But it has something to do with people judging people.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, bro, like you can flourish.
So it makes sense because I'm sure there's this like, oh, you judge me. You say what?
But you can flourish as like, I mean, like, what are you afraid about? Like, everybody has your backing. Like you're not fighting against nobody. Like, everybody's behind you as far as like being a gay man in America. Like you can succeed. Like,
that has never
niggas has been doing it, especially in music. Niggas has been doing it. Why do you gotta go to this extreme? Like, you're not fighting nobody. There's no like like cut it out. Like,
look at Elton John. Like, Elton John is one of the biggest, most
that's what I said. Yeah,
rock artists of all time. And he never had to do none of that crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
None of them. None of them. There's some talented motherfuckers.
None of them.
None of them.
Exactly. So it's kind of overrated to even be trying to use that as an excuse to, you know, present that in front of children. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have you wanted to do that shit, nigga. That ain't no fucking, like, nigga, you wanted us to see that weird shit.
We just in them times, man. Like,
and we said this shit like a couple weeks ago. Like, they're accelerating all this shit that we're seeing. It's like a race against what? That's what I want to figure out. What is it a race against?
Exactly.
Like, this shit is like they trying so hard.
I think what it is
I'll tell you one thing.
The human consciousness is expanding, but I feel like because of that, they got to crank up the stupidity to kind of like cloud that expansion of the mind. So it's like, you know, that's why all this, like, everybody's so woke, everybody's so aware now, but it's like your awareness is heightening, but then they just fill in that shit with stupidity, with dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they cranking up the stupid, you know.
But yeah, we ain't stupid over here. And then he got the reptilian eye too.
Yeah, the eye.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
And he got his right eye covered with his
exactly.
He also has his left eye. He his right eye is covered. He got the left eye out. So that lets you know.
Yeah,
like everything is satanic about this.
Yeah,
and it's like about that is satanic.
And why do everybody do the same shit? Like, who's telling them to do this shit? Everybody do the same shit. Like, who's
in charge?
All y'all not that smart
because they follow the same doctrine.
Exactly,
they follow the same doctrine.
When is it like stop being conspiracy? Like, come on, we gotta wake up.
So Crowleyite, a bunch of Crowleyites.
Yep, Saturnus, all that. But yeah, man, it's the Flight Room Podcast. Hope we're gonna hit y'all with some overtime, and I feel like we got a little heavy right there, but that's what we do. We preview out to the overtime.
Okay. It's necessary though,
right? It absolutely is, because it's a war on your consciousness, it's a war on your spirit, and we try, even though we try to teach you how to glow up, we also teach you how to keep that shit in balance. But you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to please enter in our free giveaway. It's easy. Just hit the Instagram link, and you can learn how you get a free pair of shoes, free hoodie. At the very least, you can win a $50 gift card. Who the fuck want that? It's for the free. So yeah, we're gonna see y'all on the flip, big baby.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
Yep.
Y'all.